Trying to decide what is Denzel Washington's best role is like trying to decide where I had the best piece of bacon at.
The best piece of yeah.
Regular bacon or turkey bacon?
Excuse me?
We don't like turkey bacon.
There's no such thing as turkey bacon.
He just
let's start there. It's
He just
turkey
had an
strips.
energy drink. I don't know if you're ready for this,
Yeah,
this
it's
conversation,
turkey
Amari.
The definition
said
of
it's turkey
bacon.
strips.
The definition of bacon is that it's cured pig. Therefore, turkey can never be bacon.
Okay,
With the ribs, it's a part of an animal. So a pig can have ribs, a cow can have ribs.
okay, this is true.
With wings, it's a part of an animal. So there can be turkey wings, there can be chicken wings.
Okay.
But the literal definition of bacon is that it's pig. Therefore, turkey cannot be bacon. They should have just called it turkey strips. Let's give a shout out to The Rock and his new energy drink, which is
He's been posting a lot about it on social
delicious.
media lately too.
He's just like the
I've only
ultimate.
this is my first time trying it. Haven't tried it for a pre-workout yet, but that's gonna happen soon.
So if he gets
Why
really
not?
excited on the podcast, you know why. But all right, welcome back to another episode of What We Watching. And if it's your first time watching / listening, we're glad to have you here. Keep watching, because I think we're kind of interesting. We have some good takes.
We do.
We have the topic for today was submitted by one submitted by Gabe, and then another submitted by one of our I don't want to say it's our number one fan yet, but one of our biggest fans, Zach. He said he wanted to hear our takes on, and he wanted it to be a weekly segment. We'll probably do it more often, maybe not weekly, because we have a lot of takes to get off, but yeah, the biggest actors and their best role. So basically, like today, we're gonna do Denzel Washington, what's his suggestion, and what we think their best movies were.
So am I starting with this?
You can go ahead.
ahead,
Yeah,
go off.
I feel like
All right. So
you have an essay here.
no, I don't really have an essay. So for me, trying to decide what is Denzel Washington's best role is like trying to decide where I had the best piece of bacon at.
The best piece of yeah.
No matter what,
Wait,
it's
time out.
always good.
Are you a bigger fan of bacon or Denzel?
I mean, bacon.
Regular bacon or turkey bacon?
Excuse me?
We don't like turkey bacon.
There's no such thing as turkey bacon.
He just
let's start there. It's
He just
turkey
had an
strips.
energy drink. I don't know if you're ready for this
Yeah, it's turkey
conversation,
strips.
Amari.
The definition
said
of
it's turkey
bacon.
strips.
The definition of bacon is that it's cured pig. Therefore, turkey can never be bacon.
Okay,
With the ribs, it's a part of an animal. So a pig can have ribs, a cow can have ribs.
okay, this is true.
With wings, it's a part of an animal. So there can be turkey wings, there can be chicken wings.
Okay.
But the literal definition of bacon is that it's pig. Therefore, turkey cannot be bacon. They should have just called it turkey strips. It's disrespectful to everything that bacon and us bacon night stand for.
We gotta clip this and then
this
send it to all the bacon pages
All
and all
the
the vegan
pages.
restaurants. This will be our first viral clip.
Oh man! Shout out to all the bacon out there. We love you.
The real bacon.
All the real bacon,
All the real
I don't
bacon.
know what this
not
guy's
that
talking
turkey
about.
stuff you were talking about.
All
Right.
I was a little sidetracked. I'm sorry. I'm passionate about that topic.
He started sweating. I've never seen him sweat before.
But so I just wanted to give a little. This is not even all of them, but just a little rundown of some movies that Denzel Washington did great in.
It's like
Training Day, Flight, Fences, American Gangster, Malcolm X, Remember the Titans, John Q, Glory, He Got Game, Antoine Fisher, The Great Debaters, Mo Better Blues, which is my favorite color
Mo Better
cinematography
Blues.
in a movie, shot by Ernest Dickerson, Pelham 123. There's no way. I don't even think
you're gonna pick
Denzel himself could choose
his
Right.
favorite.
which one. And I didn't even mention any of his recent like action stuff, which is
Right.
shockingly
right,
good.
Equalizer, even
the
Equalizer
sleeper
too.
action star Denzel Washington. Like, what can't he do at this point? Like, damn.
And like, I mean, obviously everyone knows he's Denzel.
Yeah.
The GOAT, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
obviously he has range, but like you mentioned Pelham 123, and I had just watched that recently. I think yesterday or maybe the day before, and he kills it. And his person is like, or his character isn't. I guess he's the main character, but he's not the dominant character, and he's kind of like the submissive or like, all right, I'm not the big guy kind of thing, and he absolutely kills it. And like you said, like I think we could probably find like the we can, no, I don't even know if we can find one that he didn't do a good job in, but that list would be smaller than picking which ones we think he did amazing in.
Yeah, I don't think
So,
Denzel's ever phoned
their
it
best
in
roles.
on a performance.
Right.
He's always bringing it, like, literally. And my thing with Denzel, too, is, like, he's really in his pocket when he's playing a character. Usually a lot of the characters he plays is like this, but my favorites are, like, Pelham 1, 2, 3.
You even had Malcolm X on there, and that was. Did you?
Malcolm X right after
Oh, yeah,
American.
you have the
American Gangster.
privacy
and
screen.
and I
Because it's
I
just
prefaced
like
it by saying it wasn't all of them.
Oh yeah.
No
Yeah,
Book
bro.
of Eli, no
Book of Eli. Oh, my God.
no Magnificent Seven, which is another.
Remember
Yeah.
Deja Vu?
Yeah,
Oh.
Man of Fire. Like there's a bunch. Like he in the words of our earlier episodes, he always understands the assignment.
Always understands the assignment.
He
like
probably
he turns
is
it
the
in
one giving the
early.
assignments.
Yeah,
He's a
probably-
teacher.
He's a teacher. He's a professor.
He's a teacher
TA.
at this point.
Yeah, no, he is the professor at this point. He was definitely that student that like helped the teacher grade papers like after class and shit. Like he was just that student. But yeah, like he's always my favorite Denzel character is the one where it's like he pretty much knows everything and like he's like not even that he knows everything, but like he's a super vet like that you believe in and that
Yeah.
you trust. Like Pelham 1, 2, 3, unstoppable, like 20 years in the game, you know, on the train or on the subway, and you know, this one thing happens and he uses all that experience to, you know, complete the mission or save the day. And it's just like, oh my God, like you're such a superstar, like you're such a like a legend. Like that's my favorite Denzel. Like he just like takes over the moment, and not just takes over the moment, but he basically just like he becomes that, you know, I don't even know what the word is, but he really just, it's that believability that I talked about like in the past pod, just like you really trust this character, like
No
you
matter
trust
what
him
he
throughout the entire
plays, like
film.
no matter what he plays, and no matter the difference in characters that it is.
Yeah.
Like, for I think when you get to that status, it's kind of hard for people to see you in anything other than what they've seen you in. Not really hard, but it's easier for people like, all right, it's Denzel, so like you're gonna not right, you know it's gonna be good, or you're not gonna critique it as hard or whatever. But he's like, there's almost like no chinks in his armor kind of deal. Is what I would kind of say. He even has there's even a podcast named after him, like Denzel Washington is the greatest actor of all time podcast,
Period.
and it's two people just like reviewing all of his movies and his performances and everything. And if you guys haven't checked it out, it's actually a pretty good podcast.
So I don't want to be accused of being a cop out.
Right.
So I won't vote based off of it being my favorite Denzel's performance, because I don't know if I can do that, but I'll say my favorite character that he played was for sure Frank Lucas. So
Okay.
it would be American Gangster for me, just because I like Frank Lucas a lot. Yeah. So that would be my answer for now. It
Yeah.
might change.
It would change on the mood, basically. It change on what you're feeling, what you want to watch.
It's like I have a couple, but like my main one really, I really love the thing is because like I've said before, I'm like the FX, you know, Saturday afternoon like movie palooza, like so Pelham 1, 2, 3, Book of Eli, like those are the ones that I've seen a bunch. Deja Vu, Unstoppable. So of those, like I'll have to go Pelham 1, 2, 3 just because like. And then I love how Denzel plays off of other performers. John Travolta in Pelham 1, 2, 3 is so perfect. He is amazing in that film.
I hate Omari sometimes.
Like,
He's
Like saying exactly what you're gonna say.
My mind,
what I
it's so
say.
strong.
And then like
It amazes me sometimes, but I love that film. And yeah, it's just like, again, Denzel is a character who's just like completely in his pocket, and you know, he's using all his wits, all his knowledge, everything that he's learned up until that point. Veteran in the game. I'm pretty sure that character is like, he was like getting ready to retire, basically. I think it's just like Unstoppable, where it's just like, you know, he's nearing the end. He's an old cat, you know, just, you know, going through the motions and, you know, doing his job and doing it well as he always has. and then it's just one of those days
Yeah.
where someone tried to,
I just watched it
ruin the
yesterday,
day.
so I have like a super fresh memory on
Oh
it.
man,
But
go in then.
but yeah, no, he was like a vet at MTA,
Right.
but he had taken a bribe or was being investigated for taking a bribe, so that they put him on. They demoted him until like the investigation was over or whatever, till they figured out what happened, to a desk job, and then like the first day on his desk job is when all this stuff happened. Where he's just a desk job being I don't really know how MTA and subway systems work. Basically, just like guiding the trains and telling them where to go, if they can go, and if something's in the way, kind of thing.
Kind of like air traffic
Yeah.
control.
And he
type of
basically
deal.
just saves the day and saves like the city, quote unquote.
Yeah, legendary.
But yeah, so you said you had Pelham for you.
Yeah, I think that's a sleeper though. I think
I think
when
it
you
is a
would
sleeper
think
too,
of-
especially with like you said, the dynamic between Travolta
Mhm.
and him. And we have a different topic coming up, and I kind of wanted to mention him in that one. But yeah, I think mine would be. Were you done? I kind of just
No,
took
I
it
was
over.
I was done. I was just saying underrated John Travolta as like
Oh, for
just
sure.
an actor. Like like he goes in. I love him in the OJ
All this
miniseries.
No.
Huh? What?
I said all this great foreshadowing to the next topic, but I think mine would be and now because I'm looking at all these, I'm forgetting the name of it. But what's the one with? They just made a show about it. It's the Spike Lee directed one. You're gonna know it. Where he's the cop and they're robbing the bank.
Inside Man.
Inside Man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They have or Inside Man 2 on Netflix or something. But yeah, I
Oh
think
word.
Yeah, he's good in that
he's
too.
he's super lit in that one, and just like the same dynamic with what's his name? What's his name? Clive Owen.
Clive Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dynamic between
Yeah,
them
Jodie
two, like,
Foster's
going back
in
and
that.
forth, was super lit. And
Chiwetel
I love Spike
Ejiofor.
Lee films, so I think I would have to say him in that. But like you said, Man on Fire, he's super dope. Book of Eli is amazing.
Yeah.
Like
Just never misses.
Yeah. No, he never. Misses.
he's fighting multiple people, and it doesn't even look like he doesn't know how to fight. Or like
Yeah. No,
he
he's
doesn't look
kicking
like he's
ass
an old-
in Book of
I mean,
Eli.
you
He's
would,
just
you would know
like
better, but
going crazy with it. Like
yeah. So I would have to say I would probably say Inside Man, but I think it's more so like you said. That's I like it for multiple reasons, but because it's a Spike Lee film, like he did a great job. The back and forth between him and two great actors, him and Clive Owen, and just the story and everything was good too.
And I kind of like how, because I was talking about how he's like, really most of the times the good guy who's, just trying to save the day and kind of like in a regular situation that becomes extraordinary. I like when they kind of flip it a bit with Flight, and he's kind of like the bad guy in a way. Like he's a very flawed and, damaged character that makes poor choices or has made poor choices and has to answer for some of those. And finds himself in another crazy situation, probably one of the craziest of his films. I just always remember the shot of the plane being upside down. I was like, okay, that's
In the previews, you're like, I have to see
this
this.
is definitely not Captain Phillips here. This is a new moment.
Good movie.
Yeah, that's another good movie. He's basically the Black Tom Hanks. So it's just like, again, you can't, like any film, you're breaking it down and you're just like, like he's so great. Like everything's just amazing. Remember the Titans?
Yeah, but Flight, like you said, Flight was on my
That one too.
like
Flight was on my short list also because of that of that same dynamic where he's not the good guy. And like I think my favorite part of that movie is when like he had been sober and then right before the
Right.
right before
Yeah.
right before the thing he just gets trashed and drunk. He gets it together, but then he just like comes clean in the courtroom and is like, actually I'm drunk right now.
At this exact moment.
I'm smacked. Okay. Yeah. Amazing. I mean, it's Denzel, man. Like
The movie was also very revealing because there's no one there to check and see if the pilot is drunk
That's true too.
or not.
I think
'Cause if there
everyone
hadn't
saw
been-
that.
If there hadn't been an accident,
Yeah.
like no
Yeah,
one
we'll know.
would know. And then after the accident, you're checking, but I mean, it gets that person in trouble, but it doesn't bring back all those people.
Yeah.
So
And actually, no one. And the thing is, like, no one died on the plane too. So it was just like, all right, he's that lit of a pilot that stuff went wrong. He was drunk, landed the plane, and did like the unthinkable. Everyone survived.
Yeah,
And then-
So what happens if you're at like Magic City one
Mhm.
night, just getting lit, eating wings with like James Harden or
Lou
something,
Williams. Yeah.
and Lou Williams?
Will
yeah.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
Um, and then the next morning you're flying out of Atlanta, and the guy who you were high fiving and throwing ones with that was super drunk last night is your pilot.
Oh no!
And you walk
Security.
on a plane. You walk
Security.
on a plane. He was like, "Oh, funny seeing you here."
I'd be like, I've seen this movie before. I think we'll be all right. That's what I'll say.
But it's so crazy how like getting on a plane, like a flight is probably the safest you'll ever be. Like, you know what I mean? Just in
Transportation-wise?
society, like, and yeah, just transportation wise, like flying is like the safest thing you could do. And I think you'd have to be like,
You sponsored by an airline, Amari?
I am not.
Well,
That would be a
wish.
great sponsorship, by the way. I just booked a JetBlue flight, and I just love JetBlue. But anyway, yeah, it would take a lot for you to really, really screw up a flight, like as a pilot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that would be a funny situation to see one at at G5 go
So wait,
popping
hold on.
bottles.
Just for clarity, so mine was American Gangster, Pale Ham, Pale Ham,
No, I'll do Inside Man.
Inside Man.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just wanted clarity on that.
That's good.
It's good suggestion.
But Man on Fire is
Zach.
really good too. No.
Yeah, it's like you can do a little like something for any of these.
We
before.
could-
like,
we should have broke
the
it down for
Preacher's
him
Wife with
specifically.
Whitney.
Categories.
That's what I was gonna say. We should have
Preacher's
broke it down into
Wife.
categories. All right, him as like a cop, then him as
But that ended up being a full episode. We wouldn't be able to discuss anything
yeah.
else.
They have a whole podcast like break
Yeah,
down
that's what I'm
every
saying.
movie.
No, I'm not saying it would be a problem.
No, yeah.
Away.
We have great. Like if we could just repeat their podcast if we ever run out of stuff to talk about. We were missing his rendition, having a conversation.
Yo, the Preacher's Wife, man. That's another one. It's like, damn. It's like you just scroll and you just be like, damn. But yeah, shout out to Denzel.
I feel like you can't stop. You know, like there's no stop scrolling.
Yeah, no, it's like he's up there with
Oh,
all
another
those performers.
super underrated one. What is Much Ado About Nothing?
Yeah.
Like it was a play first, but the actual movie is super lit too.
Yeah.
And that's why also when I found out, I was like, oh, he started off in theater.
Bro.
And then
Oh,
he
yeah.
a lot of
got
people
Game.
started off
He's
in
real
theater.
good. He's
He
real
got
good.
Game.
Yeah.
With Jesus Shuttleworth.
Saw that
like,
earlier today.
Oh, like come on, bro. The Siege. Oh my gosh. I even like that joint with Mark Wahlberg, Two Guns. I kind of like that. I like that one. Did you guys see that?
A while ago,
I
yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's
Probably,
always
but I
kind of
don't remember.
fun. Glory, of course. It's like
He Got Game has some funny lines in it. The scene,
Yeah.
the scene he's in a room. He just walked in on the lady of the evening after her pimp left, and he was saying that he didn't want anything from her, and she's like, "What do you mean you don't want anything from me? You're a man, aren't you?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You got a dick, don't you?" Absolutely. "You got balls, don't you?" 2 of them.
oh man.
Yeah, but even
like-
like you were saying in Pelham, the writing was really good. Like the writing in the script was also super lit. Like even like they're having like banter back and forth, and then you think that okay, these are just throwaway lines, but it's definitely written, but it just seems like they're just really off the cuff, just talking to each other.
Yeah. His movies are usually very smart. Like you definitely it's a sophisticated air to a lot of his work.
You're gonna have good lines in it, just like you were saying.
Yeah, great one-liners, great moments, great scenes. Yeah, he's up there with like, it's him, Tom Hanks, Meryl, like, you know what I mean? Like they're just never gonna miss Viola. Like every performance, no matter what they're doing, it's gonna be a banger, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a banger.
He's basically an adjective for
Yeah,
a good
he is.
performance.
Yeah, no,
when
he
people,
is.
People say
Yeah.
they have a good performance. I mean, he pretty much Denzel.
He Denzel'd it, yeah.
He Denzel'd it, or it's like that, or just like, because again, I mean, his appearance, everything. Like, okay, Denzel, like I see you, bro. You think you sharp today? Like, he's always just brought like a gravitas to just everything. His mere presence is just always been like major. Like when he walks into a room, when he walks on screen into a scene, like he commands it every single time. Like. It's just you don't get any better, man. I'm
Yeah.
always excited when I hear.
I'm
new
glad that all
Denzel
of our
stuff.
movies though were in my top probably my top 5 if I can even put a top 5 together, or like I guess top 10. But American Gangster's definitely up there for me too.
Big time. Big time.
But yeah, we can move into kind of almost like flipping the topic. But who are some underrated actors that you guys think? One of them, I kind of alluded to it before. I mean, he's well known. John Travolta, he's well known, but I think that he doesn't get as much praise and as many like flowers, so to speak, as he should. Like he kills every role. He can be the number 2. He can carry it. He can do everything. So, kind of wanted to. I have some more, but who do you guys think?
I definitely have a list here.
How long is your list? Mine is. I think I have like at least 15.
No, I don't have 15. I think I have like 6 or 7.
Okay. But so like mine are like I have a few that are like they're known, but I feel like they should be given more props than they do.
Yeah,
and then I have some that are
Yeah.
like people
Most
don't really know
definitely.
as much about, or some more recent. But yeah,
So my first person is like that, Derek Luke. And I don't feel like he gets the praise
honestly,
that he
I'd have to see his
Where's
face.
Derek Luke?
So
been,
wait,
man.
I can name the movies. You don't have to look at his face.
Yeah.
Antoine Fisher,
Okay.
Glory Road, Biker Boys, Friday Night Lights.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Booby Miles. Yeah.
Yes.
You want to win? Put Booby in.
Yeah.
He's definitely.
Nah, he definitely. Yeah.
He did a good job in Netflix show about about suicide, suicide prevention.
Oh, 13 Reasons.
13
He
Reasons.
played the
He
principal.
yeah, he does a good
I
job.
haven't
He
seen
does a
it.
good job in there.
character.
Like
Whew.
he's
Yeah.
solid.
He's
like in
great.
all those movies are classics.
Yeah.
Antoine Fisher, Glory Road, Biker Boys.
Glory Rose, I think, is my favorite sports movie of all time.
It's up there for me too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have him, and then one that I already mentioned on the last podcast, Peter Dinklage, Game of Thrones, I Care a Lot, Find Me Guilty. I always say his first name wrong, Booped, or his last name is Woodbine. He played in Jason's Lyrics. He played Can't Get Right in Life. He was in Queen and Slim. Wood Harris.
Wood Harris. Oh, man.
Played in Remember the Titans, is the black defensive guy in Remember the Titans, Paid in Full, Above the Rim. Christoph Waltz.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
He's in my favorite Tarantino movie of all time.
He's in the category of like well known, but like
he's
in a lot of stuff.
Like,
but
if you watch movies, you know who he is, but like the casual would not necessarily
Yeah.
know him by name. Yeah.
Yep. And my last one is, hopefully I don't butcher it, is Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Oh, Chiwetel.
Chiwetel.
Yeah, Chiwetel
From 12
Ejiofor.
Years a Slave.
Yeah,
He's
yes.
also in American Gangster.
yeah.
And Talk to Me, which is another great movie. So those are, I'm sure there's a bunch that I'm missing.
Yeah,
but
there's a ton.
Those are a few.
Yeah. Off the dome, I always go to Paul Giamatti. I mean, he's one of those guys where, again, he's a guy where it's like every character he plays, I believe, like I'm right there with you. Like I'm totally in, and I feel like, yeah, he's one of those guys who you'd want to see him and get more vehicles to like shine like outright. But then sometimes you have performers where it's like they work best in supporting roles. They work best, you know what I mean, when they're, kind of secondary. Love him in Straight Outta Compton. Like he's perfect in that. I mean, the very first thing I saw him in was Big Fat Liar with Amanda Bynes and Frankie Muniz. You remember that throwback? Like
I actually like that movie growing up.
Yeah,
I don't know
like
if I like it as much now, but
yeah, probably not. But like he's always bringing it.
Wait, what's his name again? Now I think
Paul
I know.
Giamatti.
I think that's the guy.
When you see his
He's
face,
kinda-
you're
he's
gonna be
kinda
like,
bald.
"Ah."
He's kind of balding, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. He is really good.
Yeah, he's amazing. And
He's
then another
definitely
one.
super lit at like, I guess not communicating, but like he's the fast talker dude, and like, is that who it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fast talker. He's always playing like somebody's like boss or like agent or manager or lawyer, like always.
Oh yeah, he's super lit. Yeah.
Another one that I have is John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I was gonna put him. I was gonna put him too.
Like especially in the early 2000s, like I feel like he was everywhere, but at the same time, like wasn't one of those guys who got the vehicle to really shine.
But I feel like in the industry he gets a lot of respect though.
Oh,
and he's super
and so
super
does,
talented.
And so does Giamatti.
Yeah, they both. Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure Giamatti, like a couple Oscars ago, got a shout out from like one of the whoever was hosting that Oscars, and they were just like, yeah, Paul Giamatti is like that. Like he needs to be nominated for stuff. And I was like, you're right. You are right. I think it was like Jimmy Kimmel. But yeah, Leguizamo, probably his most notable for his voice from the Ice Age films, playing Sid. So that's another one for me.
Isn't that movie The Chef also on Netflix?
Yeah, isn't that with Eddie? No,
John
Eddie
Favreau.
I actually like that movie a lot.
Me too. It was really good.
I like
It's John Favreau.
Yeah, Favreau. Yep.
Sofia Vergara.
Yep. Everyone like shits on The Happening, but I kind of liked him in The Happening with Mark Wahlberg. That was a funny one. But those are my main two. I couldn't really think of anyone. Most of like the black performers that I've always kind of been like, like they're kind of like making waves now. Anthony Mackie used to be one for me for a long time.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we need to get Anthony Mackie on something, and then boom.
Have you seen Synchronic?
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, love that.
Maybe we'll talk about it one day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Chiwetel's a really good one. He plays so well. He's another guy with a lot of range. Like he'll play a warm-hearted, super super nice guy, and then he could play evil at the same time. I love that about him. Let's see, any black women, guys? Any black women in the game?
So actually, it's funny you say that because one I forgot to mention, but she definitely is underrated to me, and it's top tier is Octavia Spencer.
I knew you were gonna say Octavia Spencer.
How
did I know you were gonna say that?
Top tier, and I think recently seeing her in like a comedic role with the movie on Netflix.
Yeah, with Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, with Melissa McCarthy. I think she's for sure top tier and doesn't get like enough love as well. I mean, I feel like in every industry there's always like there's people who are respected amongst the industry, but people outside of the industry don't really view them that way. So if we're being technical about it, I could pretty much say every actress is damn near underrated.
Yeah.
If you go by pay,
For sure.
especially if you go by pay,
like
if Viola Davis should be getting Denzel dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So these types of if you go by pay, they're all pretty much underrated.
That's
but
facts.
there are some who are just like household names, so everyone knows them. So it's kind of hard to say like they're underrated, but no, but she's one of those ones for sure.
Yeah, big time. And one that always comes to mind with me, I mean, pretty much just think about every black woman that played a mom or played like, a sister. Like, think about all those people. Angela Bassett, Nia Long, Sanaa Lathan, Loretta Devine, like all of them underrated. Like Angela Bassett kills it in What's Love Got to Do with It as Tina Turner. Like that's an Academy Award winning performance. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Shoot, like it's crazy. Who's my guy from? I'm looking it up right now. But yeah, Loretta Devine, like that's like legendary. Like I mean, Cicely Tyson got her flowers, of course, but like even Cicely, and it's just like the issue was like they weren't getting like roles, like they weren't getting casted like for roles. There weren't being roles written for black women a lot of the times. I mean, I always think back to my superhero stuff. Angela Bassett was supposed to be Storm, and it went to Halle, and we know why. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say Halle. Angela's a better actress than Halle. I think Halle like. She's had her moments. I mean,
she had a run too.
She had a run, and I think especially early '90s going into the 2000s, and I think that's what got her the role. And then obviously the Academy Award. Her resume as of late, it's not. She's kind of just like Halle Berry now, so it's like you can just like ride off that, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, pretty much every black woman in the game. Like, if you're not Viola Davis, again, Octavia Spencer, Academy Award winners. Like everyone else is pretty much underrated.
And I'll throw another one in there that because I don't think she's been viewed as an actress yet. But we talked about Method Man being a person who transitioned from music to acting. But Janelle,
right?
She is so fire.
Dope. She's so dope.
She is fire. She's in
she is great
Figures.
in Hidden Figures.
Oh,
she is so good in Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you know who someone and the reason why like Nia Long and like Sanaya like came to mind because their white counterparts like have that moment. So I always think of like Morris Chestnut,
Mm-hmm.
who's basically like out like the black Brad Pitt or like the black, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
he was like that guy for our community, and he just didn't necessarily like get the big moments, you know. And it's like those were like he deserved those. Omar Epps.
Yeah, Omar
Like
Epps was
yo,
one.
like, and these are guys like when they get roles, like they never phone it in. Like they always are bringing it. Like, I mean, the list goes on and on.
Forrest
like,
Whitaker.
Forrest
Forrest
Whitaker.
I thought about him too, but he's been in a lot in.
Forrest has done
But
very well. Like,
yeah.
yeah, he's in a cameo or winner. So, but again, like you said, like, does everyone know about Forrest Whitaker? Like, no, but
Yeah. Some of my underrated ones are people who are younger, so they probably just don't have as much of a resume yet. But for the younger people, Letitia Wright, I think she's super lit. Storm Reed, I think she's gonna be good too. She's good in Euphoria. She was good
yeah,
in
Zendaya's sister.
what was that movie
In
with Oprah
show.
where you're
A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wrinkle in
where
Time, yeah, with Mindy
Yeah, my
Kaling.
where your
niece.
niece got scared.
Got scared.
Yo,
How
I'm
was
not.
that
Tell the
movie?
story,
Hold
tell
on,
the story.
Tom.
So to
Crazy.
be honest,
Funny enough, I saw Storm Reed and her family at the Regal in Atlantic Station for the premiere for that movie.
Okay.
shout out to you for going to Regal.
Yeah, it was Atlantic Station. So I don't even know if that's a Regal, but
So
whatever.
I took my niece to see A Wrinkle in Time because they're like, "Oh, this is a great movie for you to take like a young black girl to see, and for her to be like she can dream, have big dreams and chase those dreams type of thing." So we're watching the movie. Everything's cool in the beginning, and then the scene where Oprah, her face is like really big on the screen. My niece loses it.
Cause
Oprah was scared, boy.
she was big and she was like not a monster but like a big like wizard or whatever
And
and
like had like real eccentric makeup. And so my niece, we didn't even stay to finish the movie.
Oh man,
She
it was like
she
that.
was out of there. She was like, "No, I don't
What?
want to go back in. I don't want to watch this."
Oh Lord,
I was like, "Sheesh." Now she was super young, but still.
that's hilarious. That's funny. Oh, Oprah, why are you scaring folks, Oprah?
yeah, but yeah, Storm Reed, I think she's gonna be a big name. Millie Bobby Brown too.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
younger,
Millie,
but yeah,
yeah.
her.
She gives me very much Emma Watson, who
Yeah.
plays Hermione,
Kind-
like
yeah,
iconically.
But
Yeah,
I feel
she
like
gives me that vibe.
she. I mean, we saw her in King Kong versus Godzilla. And we were like, all right, that movie was whatever. But I think she still did well, and I think she's kind of like I can see her. She did well in Enola Holmes, another movie. You said you
enjoy
liked.
Enola Holmes. She's
And-
got a lot of charisma.
Right, exactly. I think she's someone who can do anything, and like
Yeah.
even watching her in interviews and stuff, I'm like, oh, she's got the it factor or
Yeah.
whatever it is that that you need to be someone in here. But Rosamund Pike, we talked about her a lot, and I Care a Lot. Rob Morgan, he's I gotta look up the stuff he's in, but you've mentioned him before. I'm pretty sure, Gabe, as someone he's always this dude here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's. He's in Just Mercy. He's in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he cool.
He
cool.
was what was that other movie that? He was in Mudbound.
He's the
Yep.
He's the
I like
snitch in Luke
Mudbound.
Cage.
He is the snitch in Luke Cage.
Mudbound is so
Oh
good.
my gosh.
I mean,
even
Mudbound
him-
is Mudbound is so good. It's shot so well, and it's also like
Shout out to Rachel Morrison.
Infuriating also.
Rachel Morrison is my favorite woman cinematographer, and she's in my my top 3 actually.
Cinematographers.
Yeah. Top, if I'm taking Ernest Dickerson out because he doesn't do cinematography anymore, he's a
Right.
director now.
Right.
So it would be the Deeks, Roger Deakins,
Yeah.
Bradford Young, Rachel Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, that's it right there.
So now I'm getting to I guess the more popular ones, but actually no, Riz Ahmed. He's in Sound of Metal.
Yeah, Riz Ahmed. Yeah.
Riz, I don't know if it's I don't know how to pronounce it because sometimes it's
think
like
it's-
even though it's Ahmed, it's Ahmed, but I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know how he
The more you
pronounces it
know.
or whatever. But apparently he was a rapper also. He's a British actor and he's a rapper. 2 things that I did not
Really?
that I did not think were when I did some more research on it. But he's in the show The OA on Netflix,
Netflix,
and he's in Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal, who is another person
Yeah.
that I don't like. He's well known, but I don't think he gets the flowers he deserves. And I have on my, I guess, like underrated list.
Yeah.
But he's in Nightcrawler, and he's basically the supporting actor, and he kills his role too. But Luis Guzman, you guys know him off the top. He's in Anger Management. He's a Puerto Rican New York dude. That's all. He's in Pelham 123.
Oh,
The
yeah.
one with the
Okay, yep,
broken
yep,
nose.
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
he's
one.
super lit. Always
That's a
kills
good
his
one.
roles. He can be funny. He can be serious.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like him most of.
That's a
John
good one.
Turturro also. You guys know him off
Mm-hmm.
by name,
That's a
yeah.
good one.
And then lastly, he's won 2 Academy Awards, so I don't know if you can say he's underrated.
I know who this is.
But of course you know this because he's my probably I would name my favorite actor, or name him as my favorite actor. But Mahershala Ali, I think
Boom.
he's still like he can do everything. There's still so
Everything.
much more that I feel like I want to see him in. I want to see him do.
Oh, just you
Yeah,
wait.
like Blade.
Blade
Like
is coming,
Blade,
baby.
yeah, Blade
It's
and-
coming. Ooh.
He's
AJ,
he's
AJ,
in
are you-
Moonlight.
are you blushing?
He's in maybe a little bit. No.
Yo,
he's
I
in
mean, hey.
Moonlight. He's in A Place Beyond the Pines,
Yeah.
Everything.
Green Book.
Green Book. Yeah.
Yeah. He's incredible. Love him in
Luke
the
Cage.
first season of Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how they're gonna recorrect that. I don't know. But I think they're just kind of throwing those Netflix things away. Also, Michael Coulter, who plays Luke Cage in the Netflix,
Yeah.
he's another guy. It's like, yo, like get this guy into stuff. Like
Oh, and I just thought of another one. Winston Duke.
Winston
was-
Duke.
He was.
The guy from
Us.
Black Panther.
And
This
Black
is
Panther,
yeah.
He's only had a couple. I think Black Panther was his first.
big role.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But-
he got like a Mark Wahlberg joint. I think he's like
Oh,
this-
that's right. He is in there. The
yeah on Netflix.
what is that? That it starts with an S, I think. I don't know, but the words are the script is yellow.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
wait, hold on.
I remember the title card.
Is it Spencer?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Spencer
yeah.
Confidential. Yeah,
Yeah,
There she blows.
yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
but yeah, and then I also wanted to. We got Gabe put up a poll or questions talking about who's everyone's favorite mother actress. Who'd you guys put, or who'd you guys select?
Like, but it was, we have to specify.
Yeah.
It was a TV mom.
Oh,
like,
TV
who was
moms. Yeah, there you go,
from
TV
from
moms.
sitcoms, who was your favorite
Yeah.
TV mom?
Well,
Yeah.
I kind of posed the question that way because I put Felicia Rashad and
Yeah.
I gave like a little explanation, but I also like she's the mom in Creed,
Yep.
and I feel like every time she plays the mom and whatever, like I'm listening to whatever she has
Yeah,
to say.
she's,
Like
just
she's
warm.
right.
She's
no matter
warm
what.
milk. She's honey.
She's in
and just fluffiness
in the Cosby
and
Show, like
happiness.
Yeah, the reason why I say you got to specify for TV moms because when you start doing movies, there's I can't think of their names right now, but they're very loud moms. They always play moms, and they're always very, very loud.
yeah.
It's 2 of them. I'll think of them,
Mhm.
but there's 2. So if you're putting movies in it, I would have to include them
Yeah.
in it.
Well, tell your TV mom, and then we'll kick it to Amari,
Yeah.
and then you can look it up.
So for a TV mom, it's a very tight race between Felicia Rashad, the OG Aunt Viv.
Nice.
hmm Oh, her and the Will Smith like rekindling thing was
Yeah, that was dope.
it was intense.
Yeah, it was. So it's a toss up between those 2. And then I like if you go acting, it's a toss up between those 2. But then if you go the character themselves, then I probably would go with Florida Evans, just because Florida Evans had to hold down everything even after James left, and I don't feel like the other 2 characters had that much of a responsibility.
That much on their
So
shoulders.
if I'm going just based off of like acting, I maybe go Edge Aunt Viv, and then the character itself, Florida Evans.
Nice. Yeah. Felicia Rashad's the GOAT. She's the GOAT of all TV moms to me. I think it's just like and that's like the special thing about being on television and being serialized. It's like you're being invited into people's homes week after week. So there's something like really powerful about that presence that I think trumps being on film.
Yeah, in a movie.
Specifically with this question, because it's like, it's home. So it's like she always brought that home feeling. But then two for me that always, because I'm like comedy, and I think these two women were just like incredibly. If we also are talking like underrated, I think these are two incredibly underrated comedic actresses, and that's Jackée Harry, who played the mom on Sister Sister.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Tashina Arnold, who played the mom on Everybody Hates Chris. Hilarious. Like, especially Tashina Arnold. I mean, she was fun. She's always just been funny. I mean, going back to Martin. But boy, like, she is so funny on Everybody Hates Chris, because it's just like I know that mom, I know that auntie so well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people can relate to that one right there. Jackie's is a little bit more, it's a little bit more hyperbole to her character, a little bit more, just drama, and just like, it's not it's a sitcom where it's like you have a live studio audience, so it's more like perform me. Tashina's is like real raw, like a throwback like mama that I've always loved, and like anytime either of them are on screen, I enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. You got yours, or
I can't. So I'm gonna guess that
But
Amari will know their names.
okay.
Oh yeah. That's my girl. Yeah, she's literally, she always plays a mom, and she's like the best mom. She's in Blackish right now. She's getting a
I know
show
you're
with
talking about
Yeah,
the very
she's the
loud
mom.
one.
She's the mom in Blackish.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's
That's
up
like
there.
her thing.
Yeah.
She's her, Loretta Devine,
Look
like
at
they're
the cast of
always
Blackish.
somebody.
Yeah,
mom.
now,
Like,
yeah. I'm glad you just brought that up.
She's in
I know her name too. It's
or
like,
she's
wow.
the aunt that doesn't get married. What's that
Right,
what's that movie with Martin
exactly.
Lawrence when he comes home? I think
Jenna-
he's in that.
Exactly.
Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Lewis.
You said she's the
Like,
aunt that
come
doesn't get
on,
married
like,
when
I
Martin
know
comes
that.
home.
Like what was it? The Roscoe Jenkins.
Welcome home, Roscoe Jenkins.
Yeah,
Was she
Roscoe
in that?
Jenkins.
She was in
yes,
that?
she was
Maybe.
hilarious in that.
That's one of my favorite funny movies.
Yes.
Maybe she wasn't, and maybe there's someone else that's super similar to her. But I think that there's an aunt. She's an aunt that doesn't get married in one of these, and I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, but she definitely plays a mom in every single.
everything.
Like I can't think of her in a role that's not a mom.
Yeah, nah, like she came out the gate like playing moms, like for sure.
But yeah, and
her
then
Lawrence,
also
her and Lawrence Fishburne are getting a show. They're getting like a Blackish prequel.
I think he's a little underrated too.
Lawrence Fishburne, yes. Oh, absolutely.
our list is long of.
It's long. Oh yeah. I mean, when it comes to black actors, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, if you're not Academy Award nominated, which is a small list, or a winner, which is an even smaller list, you underrated. Okay.
I mean, but we know like it's pretty trendy right now to have like black people as leading roles. Is fairly new though, so you also got to understand like,
and the roles aren't even necessarily sometimes meaty. You know what I mean? Pause, but it's like they.
I appreciate the pause.
A lot, yeah. I had but yeah, I think we're getting more.
Rest in peace, but Michael Clark Duncan,
Yeah,
super underrated.
Yeah.
Gone before.
Love him as Kingpin in Daredevil.
Yeah.
but the role that everyone loves him as Green Mile.
Oh, Green Mile, of course.
Yeah, like you can't.
Of course.
And then another good movie mom was this is messing me up now. Alfre Woodard. She was in Crooklyn, the mom in
I
Crooklyn.
knew you were gonna say
I
Alfred.
think she was a lit mom too.
Yeah, Alfred's great.
But I don't know. We just had a decently long couple segments. We can get into the movie of today. I kind of wanted some more topics, because even though I could say, all right, this was a good movie. It's not one I was super excited about talking about. But that movie's Nomadland. It won 2 Oscars, no? Director and I think the leading actress won. But
yeah, Frances McDormand. Yeah, she
they
won.
were at least nominated. But I thought the movie was good for what it was. But it's kind of like, actually, I'll go into the intro and like describing it. It's basically post what was it, like economic crash, and there's a city that basically was run or supported by, I think it was a mine or something like that, and everything in that city was just like everyone who lived there worked at the mine or whatever this business was, And then when it closed, the entire city lost all its population. It lost its zip code, even it said, and so on. And people were just like forced to leave and do whatever. And then it follows this lady who ends up just living out of a van and kind of traveling around. But for me, I guess I'll start with why I didn't really like it that much is when the movie was kind of like, I guess, not the day in the life, but like following someone along their life and as things go. And those movies, not that I don't like them, but I like them when they have to be done in a super unique way, because there's no, I don't feel like there's really the same like arc that you have to normal movies. It's just like, all right, these things are happening, you're watching them happen to someone, and if it's not done in an interesting way, it's kind of hard for me to keep keep my attention, but it also kind of is at the same time. And I can see why they won an award for directing, and were nominated for acting as well, because everyone, like, I believed the entire film. Like, I was like, all right, I'm really looking at someone's life. Like, this actress is actually this person and really lived this. So I can appreciate it for that. It just wasn't just it for me, I didn't get, after I saw the movie, it was also kind of a sad story, and like in that too, which kind of doesn't help. But yeah, that's kind of my.
So
my
I'm gonna
thoughts
touch on
it.
a few points that you made. One, the movie was depressing as shit.
Yeah.
And then when you say it was hard to keep your attention, it took me 3 days to finish it. And I wanna say that I finished like full series in a day.
Wait, you said it on the podcast.
Yeah,
with
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is-
Yeah,
You knocked out Game of Thrones in 3 days.
I was on like season 4.
No, he finished 5 seasons in like seven
Holy
days.
shit! Damn.
Yeah, and it took me, and so
You was knocking that out.
and
Good?
so
Like, did you-
yeah, and I
eat?
was still working and everything
Oh,
like that.
Lord.
Yeah, this was like I was in
Game of Thrones. It's like
I
you
was
was
in
sit your ass
in
down and watch
that in that week. I was in 4 different states.
Oh my God. Game. Like, now you could have waited for the trip to end to do all that.
I gotta have
Damn.
something to watch on the flights.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So going back, you're saying the award. So it won Best Picture,
Oh, Best Picture in general?
Yeah, it
Best
won
Picture,
Best Picture,
and it
Best
won a
Director.
Golden Globe for Best Picture. It won Best Director, and she won for Best Actress in a leading role.
Yeah, Frances
Yeah.
won.
So she beat out Viola Davis in
And Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
yeah.
No, sir.
Then she beat my girl.
Best
Ain't
Picture.
wrong.
Best Picture.
Yeah.
I
They could have.
There's-
I don't
to
want to
me-
just trash the movie.
to
but-
me, yeah. I'm not, don't get me wrong.
It was
I'm
a-
not saying it was
yeah.
bad.
Leave that to me.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna say it was a bad movie.
Right.
It just was extremely slow, and it was a tough watch. I think certain movies are better suited for theaters, and I think if we were to go watch this in a theater where we're going there to 100% give our attention to the movie,
Yeah.
then it would have done a lot better as far as like keeping our attention, making us like stay interested, etc. But when you're streaming it at home and your dog wants you to take it for a walk or play, there's someone calling you from the next room.
You get a text.
You get a text. You can click over to the next channel. The heat is playing. Like there's a lot going on that can take you away from it and then make it super hard to come back to the movie. So I won't say it's a bad movie. It was
Right.
a tough watch, and there's no way I would have voted it as a better movie than a couple of the other movies that we're probably going to discuss.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have voted it as a better movie than Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I wouldn't have said her performance was better than Viola Davis's. Like I don't, and I just don't. I don't see it, and maybe this is why I know Netflix just posted they just did their
Was it HFPA?
not working with someone anymore because there was no diversity
Was it HFPA? Hollywood.
Oh yeah, Hollywood Foreign Press for
Yeah.
the Golden Globes.
for the Golden
Yeah.
Globes, and this movie
Golden
won
Globes
Best Picture
always-
at Golden Globes as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I feel like this is a prime example of like when you don't have like a diverse group of people on a leadership board that are making these types of decisions, because there's no possible way.
That it was not, it didn't sweep, but like sweep, or like
It
win
was
that
a
many
super
awards.
prominent. Like
in
I
a
was
way.
expecting. I mentioned it on the podcast
Yeah.
when we talked about the
I'm excited
awards.
to watch them.
I was like, I'm excited to watch this because the amount of awards it got, the kind of love it
it's like,
got,
oh,
it
we gotta
reminded
check
me
this
of
out.
Parasite.
Right.
And when that happened with Parasite, and I went and watched Parasite, I was like, okay, it deserved everything.
Watching
it got.
this movie, I was thinking about that. I was like,
Yeah.
Gabe's not gonna enjoy this. Or like,
Yeah, and I was
Gabe's
like,
not gonna
yo,
enjoy
like
the same
this
way.
this
'Cause I
got the
know-
same. Yeah, there's no way.
I
There's
know
just no
you,
way.
because
This
I
got
did
the
the same
push,
thing.
like-
I put it on the same pedestal. Like, all right, like this movie's gonna be an easy home run. Like, I'm stupid for not having watched it already. But it was like, I know we're kind of. I feel like we're taking it down because of how much love and how high the
The
expectations
hype,
were.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad movie. And like for me, like it's kind of about like van life living also, and that's something that I could see myself doing and may want to do, or like travel doing that one day.
Yeah.
And even like liking that subject and liking the, I guess, like the material and stuff, or being interested in the material, it still wasn't it for me. And like I said, the day, like I really like when day in the life movies are following someone along their life. Movies are done well and done in a unique way. And I put an example of the Florida Project. I know you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it, Amari, but
yeah.
that is just like, you're just looking at this little girl and watching her grow up, or like go through a tough time over a summer or whatever. And it wasn't like a traditional movie, but I thought it was amazing, and I like it better than this one too.
You know what? The funny part is,
Couldn't drink
though,
some
I
water.
have no notes, right? So
It
like,
was all off the top then.
this is all off the dome. You know what I'm saying? I didn't write any notes. I mean, I was I was bored enough to write notes, but like
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever. Like,
And
I mean, let's
like,
just get
I want
through
to
this.
say one more thing. Like because most of the time, like we all kind of agree on movies and pick them, but most of the time I'm kind of driving them. And when I was like, I guess Mortal Kombat, we did that because it was like, no matter what we were gonna do, we were all gonna watch it, and it was like, it had a lot of hype around it. And the kind of same thing with Nomadland. But I was like, when I'm watching these and I suggest a movie, that I'm like, all right, damn, they're not gonna like this, or we're not
Oh,
gonna have we're not
this
gonna
is
have the
definitely
greatest.
not a slight on movie selection.
No,
at
for
all.
sure.
Like,
But I'm
no.
saying, I still feel like, also like, dang, they all have to watch it because
You're just in here like, hang on,
because I'll watch it, and even if maybe you guys have seen it before me or whatever,
Oof.
just based on whatever, I'm like,
Yeah, no. I mean, it won Best Picture. We have to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess I'll start with just like the fact of how like untimely this film was. I mean, really, a lot of the crop of the Academy Award nominated films were just really just a lot of them just weren't like. They were dreary. I mean, that's the one word that I could just think of, like dreary and depressing. Like, and boy, did I not need that in 2020. Like, that's the last thing I was trying to watch during this time. Is anything that was just gonna make me hate life even more. And boy, I mean, this was just like not it. Like,
the best part is he doesn't have this written down. This is all
no,
off
I
the
have
top.
no notes this time, guys. No notes. So we're just rapping right now. And the thing for me too is just kind of like, look, this would have been better as a documentary series, because it's just kind of like Hollywood like did this thing where it's like, okay, let's put this on, let's show the world this topic, or let's put
look
this
behind the curtain.
moment. Yeah, let's like peek behind the camera about a real life situation. Like, with this movie's really about homelessness, and it's like, this is coming from Hollywood, straight out of Cali, and it's like Cali, like home to like one of the largest homeless populations on the planet. Like, you go to Skid Row and it looks like a third world country. Like, and it's just kind of like, okay, well, what exactly are we doing here? What's the goal here? Because when you watch the film, you're kind of like, okay, like there's no plot, which is fine, but it's like, this is a very real situation that we're depicting. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this could have served better in real life. Does that make sense? Like, this could have like really shone a light on people who are actually experiencing this. And I think some of the actors are like real life people who are actual like travelers and drifters, as they
Nomads, yeah.
call them, nomads. Yeah, this didn't have to be. We didn't have to, spend a film budget and like get everyone together to tell this story. There's real people who are actually going through this. There again, some choose to be nomads, but a lot of people don't choose that
Yeah.
lifestyle.
It was, yeah.
And it's just kind of like, it's one of those things again where it's like the academy is like, I don't want to say that they're out of touch, but that really, I guess I will say that the academy is out of touch, because it's like there are other stories that could be told, and this would have served better as a story that really could have, because it's like, what is this doing? Like, what's the goal of you making this movie? Like, are you trying to just want to tell a story of a nomad, or like, are you going to be because there's a lot of problems in the film, and there are a lot of things that they shine a light on that need to be solved, like homelessness being the one. I mean, healthcare. I mean, the whole thing. There's so many things that we need to deal with as a society that they talk about in the film, but it's like, okay, after, I guess, you just watch it and then you turn your Hulu off. Like, what's the end goal? So it's like when it comes to the Academy and like people are like, the ratings are down, like what's going on with Hollywood and everything, it's like, you just got to get more real. Like, let's actually, like, instead of just like making movies about topics or making movies about the ills of society, let's start working towards rebuilding and actually addressing those ills, instead of just like making films and like patting each other on the back. Like, Frances was cool in the film. You know what I'm saying? Frances was cool. Like, this is her third Oscar. Like, she's an amazing actress. She was gonna be great regardless. But it's like, I would have liked to watch like the real Fern. Like, I would have liked to watch the real woman who, I don't know if this is based on a true story, and I'm just saying, like, a real actual woman who is going through this, who has suffered loss and she's just packs all her things and she just goes on the road and she goes through a bunch of things. I would have loved an actual documentary about that, instead of, someone wrote a script and like dreamed about this nomad who's on the road and she's homeless and her husband died. Like, it's like, dude, like, we need to start helping people. Like, people are going through things. A pandemic just rocked this planet, and it's like, we need to actually be helping one another. And I just don't know. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, we have to do better when it comes to helping one another. Like, yes, these are great performances and the cinematography is great, and I love the scenery, and there's some great imagery, and I love some of the moments in the film, but it's just like, dog, like, can we like actually start like addressing things and like actually getting to the bottom of like this?
Yeah, I mean, touching on what you were saying, like some of the good moments, there were things I liked about it. Like, I liked how, like, we're in this, I wouldn't say this age, but like, well, we're all at the age where we're for sure thinking about home ownership, and knowing people who are getting homes and thinking about home ownership, and like, you get a new home and like, that's like your baby, like, you have to fix it up, keep it up, like, that's your responsibility now. So like, with her RV becoming her new home, it's kind of like she had to learn that. She got into a situation where she's like, oh, I got a flat, and Lay's like, you don't have a spare, like, change it, like, why are you coming out here?
Why are you
You
coming
don't
out?
have a spare? And she's like, no. She's like, the lady goes off, it's like, listen, you could die out here, you're in the middle of nowhere, you're hundreds of miles away from civilization, you need to do a better job of taking care of yourself and making sure you're prepared in these types of situations, and this RV or this van now is your home. You have to make sure you're keeping it up. So, she helps her, but then she goes back with this lady, and the lady is like, she's painting her van and she's fixing her van up to making sure it looks nice because this is her home. And she's basically saying like, hey, listen, your van's looking kind of ratty. You need to be doing the same, you know what I'm saying? You need to be doing the same thing. And then she's meeting and encountering people who have challenges and struggles, all which seem to be pretty depressing and sad. Like, a man talks about like his child taking their own life. I think at that time it was like 3 years ago, and he was like, it was still tough for him to even say that in a sentence.
Right.
It was a bunch of stuff like that. That was like real life moments, real life like stuff that was super relatable.
Yeah.
But again, like, it was almost as if like there was no like payoff. Like it was the entire thing just seemed super sad. Like the
Yeah.
entire time is like,
'Cause you get to the
how
point-
how could we make the audience like feel worse?
Yeah.
And I think that's what made it like a super like a drag to watch. Like there's no payoff at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and then you almost get it. You're like, oh, okay, she's gonna rekindle with her her family that she left, and like they basically said, oh, like you thought you were doing really good with this, but like this is kind of messed up how you handled this or whatever. And like, oh, okay, she's gonna rekindle with her family. They're gonna help her get back on. And nope, like I'm gone again. But a thing that I did like about it is that I don't know if it was the purpose of the film and stuff, but it shone a light on, because like I said, like I mentioned before, like it was something that I've been interested in doing. And I would want to live the van life, or at least travel and do that out of a van, or like have that option or do something like that. But it kind of showed you the realness of it, and like the things where you have to think of, because like a lot of, especially with Instagram and social media and stuff, all that stuff is glamorized in a way. Like you, especially with social media, you only see the highlights.
Right.
So it's kind of, from looking at it from that perspective, it's like, okay, cool. You kind of see behind the curtains and see like the people who don't have a choice. They're not choosing to do this. They're doing it because, I mean, some are choosing it, but they're also doing it because that's their best option, or just what they feel they can do, you know? So I kind of like that it wasn't it had that real feel to it, even though, like you said, there was no payoff, and it was super sad, and could have been a documentary, like you said, Amari.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I mean, again, what do I like about it? I love Frances in it. I mean, Frances McDormand is, again, she's one of the top tier performers. This is, definitely one of those performances where she's in there. Like, she is a nomad, and she, you believe that she, she's one of those. It's like the classic Hollywood drifter character where it's like they are just addicted to just being on the go. And it's like, yes, she's being enticed by family, friends, like, just stay, like, have some stability, like, there's space and there's room for you to have a home somewhere. And she's just like, I gotta go, man. Like, it's just like the road's calling me, and I gotta go.
And buddy that liked her and was trying to
Yeah, it was like, yo, I'm like trying to bite, man. Like, what's good? Like, come on, Fern. Like, let's go, baby. Fern was like, no, I can't. I was like, I feel you, Fern. It is what it is. Frances is great in this. I like some of the other actual actors and some of like the real life actors in the film. I like some of the, I guess you can call them lessons in the film. I liked her encounter with the gentleman who had lost his son and who was still like, they were just talking about grief with one another, that scene. I enjoyed that. I think that lifestyle can definitely be jarring. You're constantly meeting people. Sometimes you have stretches where you can create relationships. Sometimes you have just brief moments. And, the people that you leave behind are constantly on your mind, whether they're living or not. And I enjoyed, not that I enjoyed that, but I liked how they handled that. Just talking about, hey, just that lifestyle, like, and then like connecting it to death. He was just like, yeah, I never say goodbye. I just say, see you down the road. And a lot of times I see people on the road, like, and he was just like, yeah, like, eventually, sometimes whether it's a year later, 2, 3, 4 years, a decade later, I see him again. And I like that. I liked Swanky. I like that character you guys were talking about with Fern's RV, and they were helping each other. And then again, boom. And I was talking about healthcare, and just like, Swanky had found out she had cancer, and it was just like, how do you deal with that? And she was just like, I'm not gonna be locked up in no hospital. I'm not gonna be locked up at the like. I'm gonna die out there. This is my this is my life, And whether Swanky chose this, well, she didn't choose it necessarily, but again, just going to the overall themes that surround this film that I feel like need real addressing. Just like our current public health crisis. Well, not current. We've always had a public health crisis, but going directly to homelessness. Yeah, it's a real thing. And the film at least gives you a good depiction of what people go through with these types of lifestyles, whether you're a chosen, nomad or drifter, or you're just actually flat out homeless. And yeah, the director did a great job with direction, even though there was no plot. You moved through, this moment in Fern's life quite well. I think from moment to moment, I didn't feel like I was jumping from,
Yeah.
thing to thing, event to event.
Because they did cover a lot of events, and
Yeah, it covered
there's
just a lot of,
movement.
there is a lot of randomness to it, but that's life,
Mhm.
And I think, Chloe does a good job of just kind of rounding it out and just giving you a full, meal instead of like just a couple plates of things. Like it feels like a full moment. I feel like I watched a full film. Um, yeah, it looks beautiful. Again, I mean, a lot of great shots, a lot of great still shots, a lot of great just moments of, the car on the road. And I like how the camera sat and just let some things happen. I forgot that I was watching some of it on my phone and I was trying to screenshot some, and I forgot you can't screenshot like on Netflix and stuff because it just looked really good. It did. I love the scene. There's one scene that I was trying to screenshot, and it was Fern and I think another character. Remember when she was, I think it was during the RV festival or whatever, and she was like doing like a makeshift like spa, and it was just
Mhm.
Fern and some lady that had came, and they were just like sitting back on the chairs, and they had like their little face mask on, and they
Yeah.
were just there chilling.
Yeah.
I like that too with the characters, kind of just like a lot of them were really normalizing it and were just very entrenched in the lifestyle. I love the character when she was talking about how they just shit in buckets. And she was just like, "Hey, if you got bad knees, here's a big bucket. If you like, if you like to squat, here's a small bucket. I like to poop a lot, so here's a 2-gallon bucket." I was like, "Okay, that's funny." So yeah, I mean, again, a lot of commentary surrounding this film, its timeliness, the topics and themes that are covered. But I mean, it is. Did it? Well, I don't want to say did it deserve the Oscar, but I mean, it is one of the Oscars. Likes the Academy loves these types of films. I mean, you have to
Yeah,
understand. It's like
apparently.
drama is their thing. Like you're not going to see a lot of comedy. You're not going to see. Hopefully we're going to get to that. And it's funny that Chloe, this director, is literally directing this new Marvel film, Eternals, which is like right on time. But like, hopefully, we'll get to that point where it's not just always like doom and gloom that gets
Mhm.
nominated for Academy Awards. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, it
it was
kind of feels
interesting.
like a, not, I want to say high end, but I mean, yeah, high end compared, but like a high end Lifetime film almost.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was a dramatized version of what needed to be a documentary.
yeah.
You know, that's what I'll say.
So with that, what are you rating it, Omari?
Out of 10, right? I mean, I give it a
All right, rate it and then
explain
rewatchability.
rewatchability. It's not. If you're not into movies, you didn't see this film. Like you didn't watch it, and I mean that explains the low rating. I mean, a lot of these films people just didn't watch.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you not to watch it. I think if you it's watchable from a sense where it's like, I mean, if you want to get into film, like if you know, if you like to see what the Academy likes, for future reference or past reference to why your favorite film didn't get nominated in the past, this is what the Academy likes. Um, I mean, as a film, I'll give it it's hard. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it again, it's boring. It's boring. Like it's boring. It's real, but it's real in a very boring
It's real
way.
boring. You're saying.
It's real boring.
So you would watch it. You would
Um,
watch it again, but maybe
it's a
once.
good. It's a good. If you're in a film class and you're constructing and deconstructing film, in that way, you could say, "Hey, this is a 9 out of 10." If you wrap it up into everything and you take into consideration what it's talking about, what it accomplishes as a film, what it doesn't accomplish as a film. In a real world setting, we're talking about homelessness, we're talking about public health, we're talking about, those types of things. When you wrap it up all into that, it goes down for me because it's just like, what was the point?
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of the film? You know what I mean? Like, what are we here for? Like, we're going to talk about Sound of Metal in the next pod. That movie has a point. Like, it has, like, on top of having a plot, it has something to give you to take home with you. Like this, like, you watch it and it's like, okay, she's back on the road. And it's like, what do we get out of that? And we put so much effort into this. We hyped this movie up, Academy, and I sat and watched it. And it's
He has
just
a bone to
like,
pick with the Academy.
but
Warner Brothers and the Academy are.
But it's just like but the thing is too, it's just like, they probably displaced a very nice population of homeless people to even put on the Academy Awards. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you put it in a real life setting, it's just like, there's a lot of audacity. There's a lot of audacity and just
You're
like,
peeling back the layers of the onion right now.
Yo, you got to pull it out. Like, you really do. When you watching films, guys, you got to really like break, like, what's going on here? Like, what is really happening here? Mm-hmm. But anyway, I don't want to go on and on.
7.5.
Anyway, 7.5 is for me. Shout out to Nomadland. But yeah, it should have been documentary. That's the last thing I'll say, and that's pretty much my overarching commentary on this film.
So I'm gonna preface my rating by saying it's on a scale of 1 to Shawshank, and I kind of discussed what my rating system is like. 5 means I'm definitely not rewatching it, and a 6 means that I would rewatch it just to give it another shot. So for me, this is a 6.
Yeah,
I'll rewatch it to give it another shot, but probably in theaters. I think I'd have a better experience watching it in theaters. Fair. It would retain my attention a little bit better in theaters, but I also would have to like prepare myself to be like sad as shit.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a 6.
You might need 2 buckets of popcorn.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll say 6.5 for me. The material, not the material, but like what it was talking about and how they executed it, that was like, all right, kind of cool. But I mean, I've said all my reasonings already. I think 6.5 for me. It's kind of a somber note, but
so is the movie.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
kind of exhausted this one, but that's
what
we watched.
Yeah, that's what we. And look, the hope is, for people who do see this film, and you know what, I implore you to, if you are interested, hopefully it does help those who view it want to go out and address some of these issues. Again, there are people who are choosing their life to be nomads, and again, I too would like to get on the road and check out some of the sites and check out American nature.
Yeah.
But specifically for homelessness and public health, I think this could be something to inspire people to go out and help others. So that's something that you'd have to take that away from the film for yourself. The film doesn't do that for you, but yeah.
Or you can just watch us and
hear
it straight from Amari.
And exactly, like, you watch us and be like, boom, like, I'm gonna watch it and be inspired. But yeah, if you came in cold and didn't see us before, you'd have done that homework yourself. But luckily you didn't. You came and watched us first.
All right. And on that note, this has been another episode of What We Watching.